the one we thought we may never see happen. Finally, it's here. It's arrived. Is it a coming-of-age night for Josh Kelly? Is it a turning back? The youngster time for David Avanesyan, the defending champion from Russia, although he's based in the UK and has been for the last few years, is the man in the black trunks, Kelly, in the red and white of his native town, Sunderland. All the experts say the one thing that Josh Kelly cannot do is just coast through this one, that he needs to maintain a work rate. Can't switch off, can't stand back and admire his work. It's an interesting one. This fight, you look at it, you can make a compelling case for David Avanesyan, then you can flip it on its head, make a compelling case for Josh Kelly, and both arguments would carry a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's in the big fights like these that records and form and all that stuff kind of just goes out the window. And you know, the fighters are here and they want to make a statement, both fighters.
It's a fight that may well go the distance as well. Just the one stoppage loss for David Avanesyan. As you heard Chris say, that came against Egidius Kavaliauskas, who can knock a small building over.
What's interesting here in the early goings is Kelly, is not giving up ground too easily, which was always going to be key. But he just got into that kind of Philly shell stance, and that's because Avanesyan likes to set up those straight shots down the middle with a wide left hook. And with that Philly shell stance, the right glove can just catch those left hooks on the turn. And already Kelly's thinking in those first and third phases, slipping, making Avanesyan miss and countering him. Really, really sharp start from the Sunderland man. This is good stuff so far.
Reddening up already, Kelly. I don't know if that's a cut or whether that's just you know, whether a glove has just scuffed him there, but there's definitely some kind of marking coming up.
Yeah, he does mark quite easily, Josh. I think you've seen this in the amateurs over the years as well. Tash just gets quite red quite quickly. There's nothing too much to be concerned about.
This is sharp. This is really sharp from Kelly. Picked some beautiful punches to the body, then switched upstairs quickly. Well, he's asking some questions of the champion here right in this first round. And that's the kind of movement that he's going to need to keep Avanesyan at bay. Slow start this from the Russian, but a very sharp and fast start from the challenger. Probably rolling there to keep himself out of trouble. Well, Josh Kelly is looked after by the highly intelligent, very, very experienced Adam Booth. I think Adam Booth will be very, very happy with the way this first round has gone. Caught him with a lovely little left hand there right on the belt. And that is not David Avanesyan's game at all. And let's see if Carl Greaves and his team can just fine-tune Avanesyan a little bit here. The second round, the first not good for him at all. Oh, again, it's the speed. Lovely left hook combination downstairs then upstairs. And Avanesyan seeing these jabs, but they're keeping him occupied. As you said earlier, Chris, I think it was you that said it, Chris, he's rehydrated. I mean, he looks huge in there, Kelly.
Yeah, he does, and they always say mistakes in the amateurs can repeat themselves in the pros, and it's no secret that he did have some problems with his weight. He did balloon up at points, and you know, we've talked about that, and he has to work hard on his weight. It's not something that comes easily or naturally to him, and clearly, you know, the first fight, one of the reasons for him getting, I think, was because he was absolutely drained at the weight, and I think there's a correlation between the two. He didn't get it right, and I think he's made the adjustments and clearly has got things right this time around. He looks much stronger, he looked fresher at the weigh-in yesterday, and as you say, rehydrated, looking at a completely different specimen to what we saw even a year ago.
You've talked about this all night, Tash, man strength. I mean, he really looks like he's got it, doesn't he, Kelly, here?
Yeah, his muscles.
Oh, big left hook. Caught Avanesyan, he was wide open there and stunned, and Kelly is looking for the early night here.
Make him come into it, counter him.
Well, even if Avanesyan has managed to recover from that, there's a warning sign for the champion. He can be stung and he can be hurt, and Josh Kelly knows it. Well, the first round wasn't good for him. The second round's getting even worse for David Avanesyan.
There's blood coming from somewhere. I don't know if it's
that's a cut on the back of the head by the look of it, Tash, I think. How that's happened. He's too bothered about it. Yeah, it is. It's on the it's in the scalp now. Avanesyan knows he needs to get a reaction to being caught like that.
Might not bother him. He's losing a lot of blood from that cut.
Pouring, isn't it? Well, it always does pour on the top of the head. Absolute spearing jabs. He's raking those jabs through here, Josh Kelly. And I tell you, Avanesyan really needs to settle down, because if he starts to press this, he's going to make mistakes and leave himself open. There's a lot of blood, most of it around the back and the side, but all over the place at the moment here from Kelly. Yeah, it's so good. Look at the separation after he unloaded, and that jab, that's turning into a weapon as well. Cutmen are always good guys. Have you noticed that? Some of the nicest guys you'll meet. Round 3.
Yeah, he's had a few to work on as well. He had that Huey Fury against Pulev where his eyelid was all but hanging off. So he's seen a lot worse, and you can have far, far worse people in your corner to deal with a bit of a cut like that than Jumbo.
And the thing for Josh, it's not on the front, it's not in his line of sight. There's no bit of eye hanging down that you can see that's putting you off. So all them things are positive. When it's at the back and you can't see, you know, it is what it is, kind of thing.
Well, it's not bothering him in the least. Avanesyan, we're only in the early stage of the third round. He's almost just a little sense that he's getting a bit desperate here. But he's been completely outboxed through the first 2 rounds. I've been trying to up the tempo here, but I tell you, this jab of Kelly's is some weapon. That was nice. Kelly did take a left hand there. Avanesyan with a rare moment of success early in this third round. And Kelly again creating that separation. But he is taking some risks trying to get in here, Avanesyan.
One thing that I don't think many people really know or wish to acknowledge about Josh Kelly, there's a lot of dog in him. You know, over the years, because of how he looks, he's kind of a commercial dream, and because of the way he boxes, you kind of think he's one of these people that would be a bit risk averse, a bit shy of a trade-off. But actually, he's quite the opposite. He's got a real spirit, he's got a real dog, and he's got that fight that you need as a boxer. If things get tough tonight, he won't just suddenly be a fish out of water in there. And of course, that is Avanesyan's game plan, and they don't necessarily know that Kelly's got spirit and resolve, and he doesn't need to really have to find out because of the skill set that he's got. But already looks a bit of adversity. There's a huge amount of blood coming out of that cut, and at some level, at this length of a fight, it could start to affect him. But he's used to that. He's been in the trenches in the amateurs, gone through some really hard Olympic qualifying rounds, gone out to Rio, faced some tough opposition, and he's not a guy that things start to get tough in the trenches, he's just going to fold.
Hello.
Make him miss.
Avanesyan trying to force the issue here. Throws it down, get off first like he did there with that right hand. Last few seconds of the third round. That's a nice body shot. He doubled it up as well. It's the first round in the fight, guys, that Avanesyan looks like he's started to settle. Not saying he won the round, but there was a little bit more of the David Avanesyan that we've seen in the past in that last round.
Potentially Josh Kelly and Conor Benn, I think, overlooking just a small matter of David Avanesyan tonight. But of course, if he does come through this, that is the fight that the public want to see. That's where the demand is.
It's like everybody wants Conor Benn.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Virgil Ortiz wants Kelly. I mean, everyone's talking about what they want, and as you say, David Avanesyan's got his own plans. It was Carl Greaves who could hear talking in the corner, a very experienced and knowledgeable British trainer. You heard him just say that you'll wear him down in the later rounds, and that obviously is going to be the game plan. Try and draw him into a bit of a battle and see if you can make a breakthrough in the latter rounds. Don't be discouraged early. As you say, all that head movement, the reflexes early on from Kelly have been so impressive. I wonder if Avanesyan can build on that slight encouragement that he got in the previous round, but Kelly looking sharp again here and just letting it flow. Adam Booth leading the applause in the Kelly corner. Boy, he brings that jab up from so low, but it's so accurate and so sharp.
This is Josh Kelly starting to get into his rhythm now, and that's what he is, a rhythm fighter. If you let him get into that, or you start to let him lead the dance and chase, that's when you can be in real trouble. And Avanesyan needs to be really careful here. Just let Kelly just get into his rhythm, have the space. You can see that confidence growing. You can see that the little step in his, the spring in his step rather. And this is where he wants to be. This is him dictating the fight on his terms.
Just caught him again there. Now Avanesyan trying to force the issue. Kelly just saying, yeah, there you go. You can get the body, but you can't hurt me. And there he is, gone again. Lovely footwork. Yeah, just drawing him in, saying, there you go. Have some of that. Look at that, looking down, use of the eyes there to try and fool Avanesyan into where the next attack is coming from. It's a real Adam Booth trademark, that bringing that jab up from the hip area. And again, though, another look at the referee. That's the second time he's done that in this round, Kelly. A little glance over at Victor Loughlin as Avanesyan looks to try and rough his man up here.
Looks like Kelly's eye as well has just swelled up.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's complaining about something that's hit him in the eye.
I think there's a clash, and I think that well, it's very hard to tell, but I think there may be a cut over the right eye. But of course, the amount of blood that's coming from that cut at the back of his head, we're only really going to know when we get in between rounds. But it does seem to be a stream of blood pouring from his right eye. I think it may have been a clash of heads, and that's what he was trying to indicate to the referee.
Yeah, they're saying in the Avanesyan corner that you are busting him up. Well, he's certainly got the marks of battle, Josh Kelly, and Avanesyan is full throttle now, and yeah, definitely cut to the right eye.
Saying as well in Adam Booth's voice when he was saying that, win the round, and you know, just win the round and then it'll go to the scorecard. It could possibly be a bad cut.
Yeah, I think just reiterating, wasn't he, in the corner, what was actually important there. It doesn't matter if it's a bad cut or not, because you can't change that now. What is important is that you win the rounds ahead, so that if it does go to the scorecard, you are ahead. I think he is clear ahead at this particular stage, but look, we just don't know how that cut is going to progress, and we'll have to wait and see.
Avanesyan now goes to the body. Bit more success with the body. Landing clean upstairs is proving pretty tough for Avanesyan here. Oh, that was smart of Adam Booth, though. I mean, in the heat of battle, sometimes guys they lose their focus, and Adam Booth just said, "Here is the situation, so don't worry about that cut. Just go and keep winning rounds." But Avanesyan really is building up a head of steam here, and this fight is starting to unfold as we thought it might. I think a lot of people looked at this and said Kelly wins the early rounds, but if Avanesyan is still there, he can come on strong late.
Kelly's just leaning on him, and he doesn't really need to be there. He needs to get back to doing what he was doing before, and hitting and moving, and you know, taking his confidence away by making him miss and making him pay. And now he's trying to stand there and lean on him and trade with him, which is not a big strength of his.
Well, if he can out-muscle David Avanesyan up close, that'll be a big step for him, but that's easier said than done. But he really is trying to be the tough guy in there at the moment, and as you say, Tash, I don't think David Avanesyan would have expected that, and I'm not sure how much success he had doing it either. This is where he can be damaging. Keep that separation. Like that.
Yeah, same thing with Jordan Gill earlier, though. You know, you have to show a little bit of everything against these come-forward fighters. You can't just give them momentum, and step off and step off and step off. You have to, at times, to get in the pocket with them, you have to stick it to them, you have to push them back, and you have to show them that you can mix it as well. It was one of the criticisms levelled against Josh Kelly. He doesn't stand and trading up and show us a little bit, and he's showing it now, and he's digging in, and there can be no question that he's shown a different side to his game in these first 5 rounds than we've seen in his previous few fights already.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is opening up here.
Yeah, he's getting caught a little bit more in this round, Josh. He's, you know, he's still hitting and moving, but he's getting caught with shots as he's staying there just that split second too long.
And we're not even at halfway. Avanesyan may be behind, but I think he'll be feeling the game plan is starting to work. But talking of dimensions, you heard what Adam Booth said there. After you've unloaded, make yourself small. Round 6 of this battle for the European Welterweight Title. Claimed by David Avanesyan in Spain, in Bilbao, against Kerman Lejaraga. They wanted the rematch, they got it. And Lejaraga was blown out inside a round. He then went back to Spain, stopped Jose Del Rio in Barcelona. And neither of these two fellas have had a fight since December 2019. A gap of over 400 days for both of them.
For Avanesyan, rather, it's almost 2 years since he was stopped by Kabliauskas. In that time, he's boxed less than 11 full rounds in 2 years. Now, of course, he's been victorious in those. Lejaraga took in 9 rounds the first time, won the second, and of course Rio was one as well. So he's been victorious in that through no fault of his own. But no, he hasn't really shown any signs of that inactivity. He was a little slow to start, but he's now fully in the groove here. And that was my only real concern from going into this, was just the lack of ring rounds that he's done in the last couple of years. But he's a seasoned professional, and no signs of rust from him at this stage, certainly.
No, absolutely not. No, it really has warmed up now. The blood continuing to pour from all over the place. From Josh Kelly, most of it from that cut around the back of the head. But Avanesyan really is starting to build up a head of steam in this fight. Big jolting left hand from the Russian. And he's catching Kelly cleaner and more regularly now. These were the shots that Kelly was making him miss with earlier. A lovely combination, and he's followed it up, and Kelly's in trouble. Pushed down, and there is a count. Well, the pressure's been coming, it's been building, and Kelly still has a minute to go here in this 6th round, and Avanesyan will be straight back on him. Landing clean again. Well, Kelly's really got to be careful here. The legs are all over the place. Absolutely gone, and Adam Booth thrown in the towel, and it's all over. Josh Kelly unravelled, and David Avanesyan has overcome a slow start to retain his European Welterweight Championship in some style. That was a ruthless finish. Well, this is how it all unravelled. Absolutely sharp and fast, and that was that combination that sent him to the floor, and he was in serious distress then. And this is one of the worst fighters in the world to be in trouble against, because Avanesyan will not let you off the hook. Absolutely clinical finish, and he still wasn't right, was he? And Adam Booth watching, saying, you know what, I've got to make a decision here. And the legs had completely gone, and that was it.
There was 2 hooks, lead hooks. There was an uppercut, and there was lead hook after that. And just the place, the way it lands, it doesn't land like a clean shot. It's a bit like for open hand fist around the back of the ear. And that's just, it just takes his legs from him.
Speaking to Darren Barker earlier on today, describing that feeling, he said you can actually feel not too bad in your head, but once your legs go, that's it. And of course you are then moments away, one punch perhaps from being completely lights out. And so Adam Booth absolutely did the right thing. All the officiating's been good tonight, the judging when it's been required. So no complaints from that point of view, and that's one positive to take from this evening, certainly.
And David Avanesyan showing that being a former world champion is not a career ender, not at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Victor Laughlin accepts the retirement of the blue corner. The official time of the stoppage, 2 minutes and 15 seconds of round number 6. Your winner, and still the European Welterweight Champion, David Avanesyan.
4 stoppages in a row for David Avanesyan, who clearly wants another shot at a world title.